every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now, and this is the show where we get you answers for all of your stock-related queries. You can write to us on YouTube, Facebook, as well as Twitter. We are live on those social media platforms, as well as you can connect to us on the WhatsApp number that will be flashing on the top of your screen very shortly. Do mention your name, the location that you're writing to us from. Also, do mention the stock that you're looking to invest in. If you've already invested, then let us know the buy price as well as the quantity and the time horizon that you're looking to hold a particular counter. That will help our experts help you better. But before we kickstart with the queries, let me bring on board our experts for today. We have Kunal Bothra as well as Mr. Avinash Gorakhshekar joining us on the show. A very good morning to you, Kunal, as well as Avinash. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And Avinash, before I kickstart with all the queries, let me ask you, what should retail investors do in such a market scenario to make sure that their wealth is protected, given the fact that we are seeing a very strong rally at least this Friday?
Yeah, I think good morning, Cheryl. First of all, today is a green day. We have seen the index, shooting up quite significantly. As my earlier, viewpoint on your channel was that, investors should adopt a slow SIP strategy. I think look at good companies, especially from the large cap space, both the NSE as well as the BSE stocks, and try to accumulate, quality businesses on market declines. I think SIP is definitely a good idea. But obviously, not when the market is touching new highs. So I think you need to time your SIPs also in a very normal, steady kind of market and continue this process for the next, say, 4 to 5 years. I think longer term investments and long term wealth creation happens when you do this consistently and with a little amount of discipline. So I think one has to keep on investing regularly. That is most important, and start investing from an early age. So that is how SIP actually generates a decent alpha and a very good kind of wealth generation for investors. So that would be my message to investors: keep on investing, but keep a time frame of at least 4 to 5 years, and use the market dips to accumulate stocks in a regular, disciplined way.
Yes, so try to time your SIPs as well as look out for good companies, and we'll also try to get good names from the experts during the course of the show. But let's move on and kickstart taking all your stock related queries. And the first question that I have is coming from Ansar, and Avinash, coming to you for this one. He invested in Kaplan Point. He's holding 50 shares near about the current market price of 675 rupees. But he's looking to hold on for the long term. So what are your views? Can he hold on to this counter, and what should be the return expectation?
No, I think, see, this is a company which primarily is an exporting pharma company, largely to the Latin American and African markets. And I think the company has some unique molecules. The company has been recording decent growth in the last, say, 2 to 3 years. Our sense is that, I think if the investor can keep a time frame of at least another 12, 18 months, then whatever initiatives the company has taken in the past, especially in the last 6, 8 months, I would believe that would definitely fruitfully, result in a good upside for the stock. The business also is expected to grow quite significantly over the next, say, 1 or 2 years. So I think here some consolidation can be expected in the near term, but from a medium to long term view, especially 12 to 18 months, I think one should hold on. I think one can easily expect a decent return of at least 15 to 20% on a very conservative side. Definitely, if the earnings are much better than expectations, the stock could get re-rated further.
This one is coming from Arvind, and Kunal, this one is for you. He's saying he's bought Macrotech Developers at a price of around 880 rupees per share. He wants to know at what price range should he look to book profits in Macrotech. He's only planning to hold this counter for just this month.
So I think at current levels is good levels where you can look to book out profits for Macrotech, because the stock has come back towards a 200 moving average. So a major mean reversion seems to be completed for the stock. The indicators which are extremely oversold, they've come back to territories which is above neutral for Macrotech. So when you have such kind of a steep rise from 720 to now 1020 odd levels in just a matter of 3 or 4 days, it's bound to be that the stock would get back into a correction. And if the correction, whenever the correction starts off, it could be a bit more sharper for Macrotech. So I think it's a good time where you should look to book out profits.
Okay, Avinash, once again coming to you, Samrat is holding 209 shares of IRCTC from a price of 657. So currently at a loss, but what's your medium to long-term outlook on this one?
Yeah, I think IRCT is a regulated monopoly, Shrishti, and I think if you give a 2 to 3 years kind of time frame, the kind of traffic movement which we have seen in the railway, passenger traffic, I think is definitely poised to grow significantly. More importantly, they have, internet ticketing, which is a very strong, profitable vertical where, EBITDA margins range between 50 to 60%. So I think IRCT is now using the excess cash to build into some new projects like affordable kind of hotels. They're also trying to build in a lot of further improvements to their passenger car trains. So I would believe that the investor needs to take a 2-year view at least. In fact, I would not be surprised that looking at the fact that this business is cash generating, the balance sheet is pretty low on debt, a very high ROC and return on equity. I think the investor can hope to make a good return provided he remains invested here for the next 2 years. So I think in the near term, of course, the stock will remain a little volatile and may underperform. But over the next 2 years, if the investor holds, I think he should make a decent amount of money. So my advice would be to hold on.
Okay, Kunal, another one coming your way, and this one is from Sudin, and he wants to buy Maruti as well as M&M from the auto pack, but he wants to know at what level should he look to start buying these counters, and his time horizon is just 1 to 2 years.
So I would suggest M&M as a better bet, at least as of now. Maruti, maybe if the stock crosses back about the 9,000 mark, then the prospects can improve for the stock price. But I think M&M has corrected quite smartly towards its 200 DMA. On the hourly charts, the stock is showing signs of divergence, which means possibly in the next couple of days, the stock could form a major bottom for itself. So I think on the back of this, I would probably prefer M&M as a preferred bet as of now. And if Maruti, and whenever Maruti crosses back about that 9,000 levels, which could be 300, 400 points higher from current zone, that could be a point where you may look to enter the stock.
Okay, Avinash, once again coming to you. Samrat, beg my pardon, please. Prashant is holding 1,000 shares of Exide Industries, Exide Batteries from a price of 180 rupees, but he wants to know the outlook for the next 2 years.
Exide is a dominant player in the automotive battery space. In fact, it's an oligopoly market with Amara Raja and Exide, the only two largest listed players. I think with the kind of growth in the automotive sector, especially the passenger car, two-wheeler, and the commercial vehicle sector, I think Exide is well positioned in the OEM segment as well as in the replacement market. Most importantly, Exide is now looking very aggressively in getting into electric lithium batteries, and for which they've already started making investments. So I would believe that this is a stock which is definitely poised to do well over the next say couple of years. So I think in the very near term, prices could remain slightly range bound considering the rise in lithium as well as lead prices. But considering the fact that these metals have also corrected from their peak levels, possibly I think margins could improve going forward with the volume growth kicking in. So I think keep a time frame of 12 to 18 months and continue to hold. I would not be surprised that FY24 could be a very strong year, considering the fact that the market is now looking at very strong top business growth from all the vehicle segments, especially the commercial vehicle, the two-wheeler, and recently most of the two-wheeler companies have started generating double-digit volume growth numbers, which actually bodes well for Exide.
Okay, this one is from Dhananjay, and he wants a technical view on the whole FMCG sector. As all stocks are beaten down and not showing any revival sign, he wants to know which is one good stock in that particular space that he can look to bet for the next 1 year, Kunal.
So difficult to just pinpoint one stock, but yes, the entire FMCG sector has been beaten down. But then I think the best part about these stocks is that whenever these stocks get into a oversold territory or an underperforming zone, that's the classical time to buy these stocks if you're a long-term investor and if you're okay holding such kind of low to moderate beta kind of names and going with very steady kind of CAGR returns from a longer term perspective. So I think purely on that sense, I would probably prefer Nestle as well as HUL. I think that stock, both these stocks have corrected quite aptly towards their long-term averages. I think some of these stocks have also now crossed below the 200-day moving average for themselves. So it's a good time where you may look to start chipping in purely for a longer-term investor.
Okay, Avinash, this one is for you. Suresh wants to know, is this a right time to enter into Carborundum Universal if we see the stock has already been a multi-bagger in trading near its all-time high levels? Your views?
See, I think Carborundum is one of the leading players in the abrasive space. And in fact, they have started now working on many products, even for the electric vertical, business segment. My sense is, this is a stock where one has to take at least a 2 to 3 year kind of time frame, considering the fact that the stock has significantly outperformed. Our sense is that in the very near term, the stock could remain range bound. But if somebody were to buy the stock at the current levels, then keeping an investment time frame of at least next to 2 to 3 years is very important. The business is growing. The management, headed by the Murugappa family, is extremely, professional, and where corporate governance is perfectly, very strong. So I would believe that any dips should be used to buy the stock to build positions in any portfolio, but keep a time frame of at least 2 to 3 years.
From Raj, and Raj wants to know if there's any stock recommendation to buy from in the air conditioning space. I will take this one to you, Avinash, because I have not asked your query at all. And this one is coming from Raj. He wants to know which is that one stock that stands out in the air conditioning space. Also, how does the outlook for that particular counter look to you?
I think most of the companies which operate in the air conditioning space, Cheryl, have actually gone up significantly, and that is the reason one has to be a little patient here. But I think stocks like Havells looks pretty interesting. You got Voltas also, so Havells would be a better choice. And I think if the investor is looking at the broader cooling market space, then even Symphony at the current levels looks attractive. Keep a time frame of at least 12 to 15 months, because looking at the peak summer this time, expectations are that the volume growth in this summer season could be significantly better for all these companies. So I think Symphony and Havells could be good choices, provided the time frame is at least 12 to 18 months.
Okay, so that's the view coming in from Avinash. But with this, viewers, it's time to slip into a short break. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And experts also, please hang on.
India is considered the fastest growing.
Years from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. What the market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. What the market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days.
The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now.
That was actually the only time I applied for a job. Thereafter, I either worked at a startup company that I founded or I was recruited. The most famous of these startups, as was mentioned, of course, is Tesla, where I was the founder and the original CEO. Today, I'd like to share a few lessons that I've learned over my years as an entrepreneur. Hopefully, you'll find some of these lessons to be relevant here in Andhra Pradesh, particularly to those of you involved in startup companies, either as entrepreneurs or as investors. My first startup company developed high-resolution graphics terminals, something that was technically interesting but not particularly relevant. My next startup company was the first company making ebooks. This was also interesting but otherwise not relevant. It was my third startup company that started a revolution. It seems unimaginable now, but in year 2000, when I started thinking about Tesla, nobody in the world was making electric cars. No established car companies, no startup companies, and most people didn't think electric cars were even possible. Tesla proves them wrong and showed that the future of automobiles is absolutely electric. Today, every legacy car company in the world knows that their future is with electric cars, and there is a rich ecosystem of EV startup companies around the world. The real problem that I saw in 2002 was climate change caused by fossil fuel consumption. I did not start out assuming that electric cars were the answer. Rather, I came to this conclusion by researching the well-to-wheel energy efficiency and carbon footprint of every kind of propulsion system I could find. Everything from petrol, diesel, hydrogen, natural gas, propane, electricity, and more. Somewhat to my surprise, the math proved that electric vehicles were by far the best choice. This was the beginning of Tesla. Starting a car company in 2002 was absolutely crazy. No new car company had ever succeeded in my lifetime. Because it was such a crazy idea, it was at first impossible to hire anyone with automotive experience. And so we started off with just beginners, people who had never done electric cars in their life. I think if I had known how difficult it was to start an electric car company, I might not have done it. But I think that my own naivety and the naivety of my founding team was necessary for us to be so bold as to start a new car company based on a new technology. We had to learn about automotive safety standards and crash testing. We had to learn about automotive suppliers, learning that suppliers generally were not interested in supplying to a small startup company in California. We had to discover the inherent safety issues with lithium-ion batteries and learn how to solve them. We had to figure out how to manufacture, deliver, and service cars. There were so many difficult problems that had to be solved, and had to be solved on a tight budget. However important naivety may be for starting a company, it is just as important to face your problems and get over them. In a startup company, it's also easy to be hyper-focused on the product you're building, solving the technical problems that are in front of you. It is easy to forget that you're also building something else, that you're building a company, and the early people that you hire, the way you interact with your team, the policies that you put in place, all of these create the company and will define it for the near future. In 2002, the idea of climate change was caused by humans and was still debatable. Today, 21 years later, this is a settled question. Climate change is real, it is an existential problem, and we are the primary cause of climate change. Do I think that replacing all of our cars with electric cars will solve this problem? No, of course not. But it is a start. The EV revolution was the best that I could do at the time with the resources that I had. We have a long way to go, and it was the best I could do. We all have a long way to go, and we need all of us to be focused on learning how to live in this world sustainably very soon. I am hopeful that this is the beginning of a green revolution that will get us there, not a greenwashing wave that will get us nowhere. And so here are a few of the lessons that I bring to this Andhra Pradesh Global Investors Summit. Do something that's really worthwhile and solve real problems in this world. Be bold. Try something new, but face your problems when they arrive, and build great companies as you build great products. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Eberhard, for your wonderful words. Now it's an honor to welcome the Chairman of Jindal Steel and Power Limited, Shri Naveen Jindal ji, for his address. Welcome, sir.
Okay, so you were listening to the panelists at the Andhra Pradesh Investor Summit, but let's move on and take all your stock-related queries onto the show. And Kunal, coming to you for the next one. The question is from Vidya, and she is holding shares of Thermax from an average price of 2,030 rupees. She is a short-term trader and sitting at a good profits now. So your advice, book profits or hold on?
I think you should look to hold on. Don't see any reason why you should be looking to booking out profits. Yes, the stock has done reasonably well, and it's come out of a multi-month consolidation. So the recent breakout for Thermax was just about the 2,100 mark. It's almost 4-5% higher from those levels. So I think you can probably keep a trailing stop loss, or you may look to hold on for further upside.
Okay, Avinash, this one is from Rajagopalan, and Rajagopalan has bought Hikal or Hikal, half of us call it, at a price of around 366 rupees per share. He wants to know what's the prospect for this one over the longer term, and is it good to hold on for the next 2 to 3 years?
See, I think in the very near term, Cheryl, Hikal is expected to face a lot of headwinds because the entire agrochemical space has seen a demand compression. In fact, not only Hikal, but all the other prominent agrochemical companies have done badly, considering that demand has gone down, the input prices have gone up, and that has resulted in a significant margin erosion for most of the players. So in the next 1 or 2 quarters, we could see these challenges continue. But longer term, definitely agrochemicals has a very strong future ahead, and Hikal has a very strong portfolio, so they should definitely do well. They're also into the contract manufacturing business, so that should also help them. They have a combination of pharma and agro. So if the investor has a 12 to 18 month kind of time frame, then only he should hold on. In the short term, I don't see any major trigger, but yes, in the longer term, there could be good value which would be made from the current levels.
Kunal, coming to you, Padma Sivrao from Bangalore wants to know, is Indigo Paints in an oversold zone right now, and can he buy at current market price?
Yeah, it's into an oversold territory as of now. I think the weekly charts as well as the daily charts have come back into an oversold territory. But then it's very difficult to categorize that when would the bounce happen for these stocks, because a stock can remain oversold for a prolonged period of time and can keep on correcting before you see a meaningful rally or a bounce in place. So it's always better that you wait out for the first phase of a bounce where the stock at least breaks past about the previous or the nearest swing high. So that would be a point where you may call in for a reversal. So you can just keep it on the radar that the stock is oversold, and whenever there is a meaningful bounce, that's the time to chip in.
Okay, this one is from Tripta Alwalia, Kunal. Greaves Cotton 500 shares at the price of around 200 rupees per share. She's saying that she's suffering 36% loss. What should her strategy be now?
I think we need to hold on. As of now, the stock has retested the previous support of 125. This was seen in the month of December and Jan start for Greaves Cotton. And I think at 125 levels, you can continue to hold on to the stock price. The indicators are making a comeback. So I think that's the positive sign for Greaves Cotton. I believe sooner or later, the stock should come back towards 140, 145 at least.
Okay, but with this, viewers, it's time once again to slip into a short break. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back shortly.
मैं हूं आजाद. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days. The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days.
The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now, and let's continue taking all of your stock related queries. This one is coming from Manish Raju and Kunal, holding about 250 shares of AB Capital at a price of around 146 rupees per share. Is it good to hold? What he wants to know, what should he do right now? Should he look to add some more of AB Capital? And as far as I know, that you were pretty bullish on this particular counter this morning itself, isn't it?
Yeah, I was and I will be, and I am extremely bullish on AB Capital. I think it's one of the much stronger charts from the mid-cap arena as such, which has just emerged into a breakout candidate a few months back. So I think from 110-12 levels is where we've started to track AB Capital, and still at 153 odd levels, I think it looks very attractive from a medium-term play. So I think you should keep on accumulating in case if there are any further dips into the stock price, would maintain the bullish stance on the stock.
Okay, Avinash, coming to you for the next one. Sandeep is holding 1,000 shares of IRFC from a price of 31 rupees. And given the strong move in all these railway companies yesterday, should he continue to hold on?
See, I think IRFC is one of those companies, which provides lease finance to the Indian Railways, which is the only customer it has got. And almost 40% of the railways capex is funded via IRFC. So definitely over the next, say, 2 to 3 years, if the investor has a time frame, I think he can hold on. But you must understand that, unlike direct railway infra kind of companies, this company's growth is definitely not very aggressive. I think they are more of a steady player. Most importantly, I would believe that, the dividends which this company gives are quite attractive. So, both from a growth as well as from a dividend yield factor, this can give a decent amount of steady growth for the investor. So over the next, say, 2 to 3 years, if the investor has a time frame, he can definitely hold on.
It's coming from Ayush Bharadwaj, and Shrishti, he's definitely mentioned that it's good to see you back on the show. And but his query is on SBI Life as well as Dalmia Sugar. Kunal, is it a good time to buy these counters, either one of them?
So Dalmia Sugar, maybe not. I think not a best time to buy the stock. Yes, it's beaten down, come back towards a major support, but then that should not be one of the preferred names when you're looking to build a portfolio, specifically given this kind of a market scenario. I would suggest that you can probably go back to the traditional large cap banking names, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, or even the PSU banking stocks like SBI, Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank. Those would be the first preferred set of stocks which I would recommend to buy. And then from the names which you mentioned, out of that, I would still not prefer Dalmia Sugar, but the other name which you've mentioned, I think that's a stock which I would look to buy.
Thank you so much, Ayush, for welcoming me back. But moving on to the next query, Kunal, Kaushik Mitra is holding shares of TTK Prestige from a price of 1,200 rupees, sitting at a heavy loss. Any indication on the charts for a revival?
So not an immediate revival, but then the stock has come back towards a major weekly support. So I think the last 4 or 5 weeks, or maybe more than that, the stock has been trading sideways. The candlestick patterns have just gotten a bit narrow for TTK Prestige. Again, this signals that possibly the stock is going through a time-wise correction rather than a major price correction which has happened to the stock in the last 4 or 5 weeks. So that's generally an indication that you could look to hold on to the stock price rather than look to sell.
Okay, the next one is coming from Mr. Cherela, and this one is on APL Limited. I believe that is Alembic Pharma, if I'm not mistaken. 56 shares at a price of 695 rupees per share. Kunal, he wants to know what should he do with this particular counter, given the fact that today there was a negative news on the impairment loss in the US generic business, but on the charts, how does this counter look to you?
See, yeah, frankly, even though the news was negative, but the stock is actually showing signs of RSI divergence. Now, that's the first sign that possibly the stock may be nearing a major bottom. I would suggest that if the stock crosses the previous swing high, I think which was like 4 or 5 days back, 530 mark, 525, 530, then I think Alembic Pharma could probably come back into a good buying zone. So I would suggest a hold as of now, but above 525 levels is where there's a strong confirmation of a buy.
Okay, Kunal, once again a query for you. Vivek is holding shares of Angel One and he plans to hold it for the next 1 year, but his buying price is 1300 rupees. Your views?
So I think good time to average. The stock had fallen down significantly from its long-term averages. And I think we've mentioned time and again that if stocks, when they fall sharply, get into a zone of 30% divergence from the long-term averages, that's Angel One, I would believe that calls in for a mean reversion. Like for example, what happened to Macrotech Developers, the stock had fallen down sharply and now made a huge reversal. So I think something similar could probably pan out for Angel One as well. Would suggest a buy as well as an averaging out at current levels.
Okay, this one is coming from Satya. This one is for you, Avinash. He wants a fundamental view on Nesco for the medium term. If it's good prospects, then is it okay to buy at current market price? If not, then when should he look to buy this one?
Yeah, I think Nesco has definitely done very well post the COVID, and I think recent Q3 numbers which have come out show that the Bombay Exhibition Center, which is one of its main cash kind of cows, has done remarkably well. I think this is a very thinly traded stock, so I think if one were to buy the stock, one has to have the conviction and the patience to hold it for a slightly longer period of time. But the business is extremely robust. Both from the real estate renting business as well as from the Bombay Exhibition Center business, and I think over the next say 12-18 months you could see a very strong recovery, considering that now the normalcy has come back and the fourth tower is almost near to full occupancy. So I think one can definitely even buy at the current odd levels. From a 12 to 18 month horizon, one could expect a very decent risk reward at the current levels.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on Nesco, but with this view, it's time to kickstart the rapid fire session. And Avinash, coming to you for the first one. Deepak from Bangalore is holding a small cap company named Kaplan Chemicals, currently at a loss. He bought these shares at the price of 71. Do you track this one and would you be able to advise him?
No, sorry, I don't track.
Okay, Kunal, Soumitra wants to know, makes sense to move money from HDFC Life to AMI Organics?
Well, not as such. I think both the charts have been struggling enough. AMI Organics also, I think, has been range bound. I would suggest not to shift.
Avinash, Renukeshwar is holding shares of Avanti Feeds from a price of 510. Hold, exit or average out?
I think exit.
Okay, Muni Raju, Kunal wants to know what is the best price to enter Pidilite for the long term?
So I think current levels is a good levels to enter the stock at if you're in from long term play.
Avinash, Akshay is holding shares of Tata Communications from a price of 1350 rupees. His investment horizon is for the next 3 to 5 years. Your advice?
Yeah, we can continue to hold.
Okay, Kunal, Indumati wants to know about is the comeback in JSW Energy expected to last or is it a random move? Holding about 320 shares, what should she do?
I think you should look to hold on.
Avinash, Rohit is holding shares of HDFC Life from a price of 671. He's a long-term investor. Should he buy more at current levels?
Yeah, he can average and hold on.
Kunal, Hemant wants to know what's the medium-term target on Trent. He's holding already some shares at around 1140.
1420 could be a target for Trent.
Kunal, Vedanta wants to know view on NBCC. She's holding these shares from a price of 52 rupees. What's your view?
Good time to average.
Okay, Hemant wants to know, Kunal, best price to buy RVNL for the next 1 to 2 years.
I would suggest wait out for a correction at least till 60 levels. That could be a better level to buy.
Kunal, Amal wants to know your view on technical basis on ONGC.
Extremely strong chart, extremely bullish on ONGC. I think you should look to buy at current levels itself.
Alright, and with that we come to the end of the rapid fire as well as the queries. Thank you so much, Kunal, as well as Avinash for joining us on the show. Thank you, Kunal, for the BNS and Pachala. And viewers, with that, it's a wrap on this week's edition of Buy Now, Sell Now as well. It's a goodbye from Shrishti, myself, Vinny, our producers, Abhishek, Sumashri, as well as my director, Santosh, as well as Ravinder. We'll see you next week.
India is considered the fastest growing.
Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days.
The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days.
The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.
It's been 1,000 points in just the 9 days.
The market's really stealing the show.
We bring you money-making ideas from our seasoned market experts.
Should remain to a range.
Expecting a move towards 150 in the short term. They are actually going to make profit.
And analysis from a top-notch research team. The biggest voices from top honchos of India Inc. share their views, and global market gurus predict the trends which impacts your investment decisions. Get exclusive stories which can move your stocks every day at 9:05 a.m. Catch the market every trading day only on ET Now. Kickstart your mornings with Nikunj Dalmia, India's most experienced market anchor.
Banking space per se is in a sweet spot.
And power up your portfolio with top trading ideas.